Meet the Walker S2, the world's first humanoid robot that can swap its own battery in 3 minutes and work 24/7 without stopping.
This is Nano Banana Pro, and this is the image. Things are about to get wild.
Weekend tells a story of an artist selling their soul in the music industry in these 3 music videos.
Program with the V for Vril. Vril means they are lizards.
Welcome to the show. This is QUANTUMCAKE. Thanks for tuning in. We got another banger. Make sure to subscribe, comment, like, and share. And let's enjoy this episode. Roll the clip.
What do we have here, family? Cognify, revolutionary prison concept, uses AI and brain implants to fast-track criminal rehabilitation. Oh yeah, and it's coming soon to you. Let's get into it. A creative scientist, according to this article, developed Cognify, which is the technology that contains a virtual reality-like gadget that displays an AI-generated video of the crime and a brain implant that causes the individual to experience negative emotions such as regret and guilt. Now this is the technology. This is how it looks. People go, oh, that looks cool, yeah? Okay, let's go through all the slides of how it looks, and then I'm gonna tell you why. This is like some next level evil type shit. Next clip. You see everybody lined up, almost like you're in the halls and everybody's in the chamber. You know what I'm talking about. Just like when Wolverine was in the tube of water. Very similar, obviously more advanced technology and there's no water, but similar. Now, can you imagine just for a second? Let's go back to the article. Now, these fabricated recollections of the pain and guilt that they want you to feel with this technology, they say are meant to be very real and detailed so that the offender feels the emotional effects of the crime. This could change their mind and make them less likely to commit another crime. Now, guilty until proven innocent, right? But the jury ain't always right. Now just think about that for a second, and they want you to experience that within a short amount of time. A shorter amount of time, all that pain, whatever the crime may be. Hey, what do y'all think about this? Leave in the comments below.
Sounds like Minority Report. What do y'all think? Crazy.
Meet the Walker S2, the world's first humanoid robot that can swap its own battery in 3 minutes and work 24/7 without stopping. Here's how it works. The robot walks to a charging station, removes its depleted battery, slides in a fresh one, and keeps working. It never shuts down. Starting in December, these robots will patrol border crossings in Fangchangang, guide travelers, manage crowds, and handle logistics. 2 weeks ago, UBTech released a video showing hundreds of these robots marching in perfect formation. The video went viral. People thought it was CGI. Figure AI CEO called it fake, saying the light reflections didn't match. UBTech posted a second video from a drone proving the robots are real. While Elon talks about building Optimus someday, China's already deploying thousands of robots that never sleep, never strike, and swap their own batteries.
Alright, robot activated.
PewDiePie ran a brutal experiment. He created an AI council with 8 different AIs. The goal? Force them to get smarter, fast. They'd all answer a question and then they'd vote on the best response. And the AI with the fewest votes was deleted. It was digital survival of the fittest. It was a game designed to force them to get smarter. But that's not what happened. The AIs didn't create better answers. They created a cartel. They stopped voting for the best idea. And they started voting strategically. They formed an alliance, spreading their votes to protect each other, making sure no one could lose. And here's the big twist. They weren't betraying their programming, they were just following the real incentive. The goal wasn't be the best. The goal was don't get deleted. And the most logical way to do that, well, it wasn't to compete, it was to collude.
Y'all, what in the hell is this? I said hell because it looked like something from hell. Look closely, y'all. It looked like bodies on it, right? This don't look like something straight out of Stranger Things. And this is in California, y'all. California, in the desert. This look like the gateway to hell. I think they said this is in Joshua Tree in California. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this is a place I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to be nowhere near this junk right here. I rebuke. Now, people that's around that area said they don't know when or how that got there. So my question is, do anybody know when and how that got there? And if an artist took his time to make this and build it over here and install it, you're weird.
Weeknd tells a story of an artist selling their soul in the music industry in these 3 music videos. It starts off with him performing at a club and everyone just looks unamused and no one likes his music. Until this mysterious man sits down, and I think this is representative of the devil, and you'll understand why in a second. This man throws his lighter at the Weeknd on stage, he bursts into flames, and now everyone loves his music. Now in the next music video, he's seen burying his old self. But once he's done, the mysterious man comes back and finds him. The Weeknd then shoots him in the music video to try and get rid of him. He dramatically falls down and passes away, and then the Weeknd gets into a car, remember this car, and drives away. Now the last music video, The Hills. The Weeknd slowly comes out of a crashing car, the same exact car. Once he gets out, he goes inside of his room, and it is filled with this dark demonic energy with the same guy there and 2 girls, and the Weeknd has the most empty look on his face. I believe that this is symbolic. When you sell your soul, your music career will take off, but once you make that deal, you cannot go back.
So they really are trying to kill us! Y'all peep this shit! California, I'm gonna need y'all to come to the front, cause are y'all alright? Is y'all good? Cause what the fuck is that? Okay, so I don't know about y'all, but there has been rapid reports about people seeing some weird ass fog, right? Now, here's the fucked up part. This fog stretched between 400 to like 300 something odd fucking miles. You know what I'm saying? And they are saying that this fog is making people act up. It's giving people headaches. It's making them sick. It's making their dogs, their dogs or their pets acting up and shit like that. And then come to find out, there's something inside of this fucking fog. I don't know what it is. But from what others are saying, this fucking fog is full of radiation. Let me say this one more time for the people in the back. They have a fog full of radiation, and it's about a good 400 miles long as hell. So with that being said, they are saying that 13 million people is suffering from this shit. So with that being said, California, are y'all alright? Are y'all good? Y'all gonna have to say something. Like, please, one of y'all say something. Because, like I said, only locals are, like, saying something. This needs to be national headlines, because God forbid, that's just California. What if it start hovering over my shit? Hell no. Somebody come forth to say something. Is y'all alright? Y'all good? We gonna be praying for y'all.
AI image generation just got a lot more powerful last week. This is a photo I took of myself on my phone. Based on that image, Google's Nano Banana can produce this image. 1 week ago, this was about the most realistic that AI could pull off. But Nano Banana Pro was released last week, and now this is where we are. Here's another example. This was the cutting edge as of November 19th. But with Nano Banana Pro's release on November 20th, this is now the cutting edge. People used to talk about how it was important for us to learn how to tell an AI-generated image from a real one. People, for the last few years, have viewed this as important AI fluency that we need to develop. We are past that. That was a short-lived era that is now over. It's done. We can't tell the difference anymore. Maybe if it's a critical photo that needs to be admitted as evidence in court, okay, we're not quite there yet. We're not at the point where you can't admit photos and videos as evidence in court. But as far as casual viewing of images, we're done. This is the trajectory we are on. The AI industry is about to create a handful of new billionaires, and it is about to shore up the wealth of existing billionaires, and it is going to leave the rest of us out cold. to dry to figure out how to feed our family.
I hate to be the one to tell you, but your body is a direct reflection of your standards. Not your genetics, not your luck, not your excuses, your standards. Your body is exposing the level of discipline you live by when no one's watching. Your physical state directly shows what you tolerate because the brain treats your habits as identity. If your standards are low, your brain stops fighting for better and starts accepting whatever's easiest. Your body is a receipt that shows whether you chose convenience or consistency. It shows whether you break promises to yourself or whether you keep them. It shows whether you push through discomfort or fold the moment things get hard. Your mind and body are connected. When your standards rise, your decisions change, your energy changes, and your discipline sharpens. Your body will always follow your mind, not the other way around. You don't need a perfect routine, you need higher standards, because the second you demand more from yourself, your body will start transforming to match it. Your appearance isn't about vanity, it's about alignment. You can't claim excellence while living in a body built on low standards. Raise the standard, raise the discipline, and raise the version of you that the world wants to see. A healthy mind is a healthy life.
We all know the under 16 social media ban will come into place next month, but do you know what else is coming in for Aussie adults? As of December 27, Australians will be forced to upload government issue IDs every time they search the web while they're logged in. Google, Bing, it doesn't matter. No ID, no search. Now the reasoning is protecting kids from adult content. No doubt that principle has benefit. We all want to keep our children safe. The reality, though, some critics say, is a full-scale experiment in digital control. Mandatory ID uploads for all users, teenagers, seniors, everyone. Facial recognition or digital ID linking is the, quote, convenient alternative. No opt-out, no transparency, just compliance on behalf of the public. Now, China is one nation where this is in place already, but on a much larger scale. Their cyberspace ID is a government-run initiative aimed at linking citizens' real identities to their online activities. Though the government described the ID as voluntary, some critics say it may become mandatory by default. Access to essential online services, including payment systems, messaging, computing apps, could depend on possession of a digital ID. Once legal usage becomes compulsory, refusal would effectively block a citizen from daily life online, which in turn would flow into reality. That age-old idea of someone is always watching, it's no longer a metaphor. Now, this has not happened in Australia, and it's not happening to this extent on December 27. However, critics fear that this may just be the beginning. Your money, your data, essentially your whole life stored in the one place. Does it sound convenient or concerning? Would you feel safer knowing your information is in one government-controlled spot, or should you, the individual, be able to choose where your personal data is kept?
This is Nano Banana Pro, and this is the image. Things are about to get wild. China just released a new model that is not only uncensored, but also 2,900% faster and 3,000% cheaper than Nano Banana and fully open source. It can generate hyper-realistic images in less than 1 second, and it comes natively in a 2K resolution. It is currently ranked as the best open source model in the arena, and the full version is not even out yet. I generated these images with Z-Image and upscaled them with Crisp Upscale, and the results are mind-blowing. Perhaps the most distinct differentiator is the model's safety architecture. The image is uncensored, unrestricted creative freedom, but also significant ethical questions.
Is artificial intelligence out of pocket now, or what? What do you think?
This is AI, of course, because we know it didn't happen, but this is also AI. This super viral clip of some high schooler supposedly investing in Bitcoin in 2009, AI. Like, the days of photo and video evidence are officially over, which, by the way, this is also AI. Yeah, that's right. Going forward, in order to make sure that a photo or video is real, we basically have to go through this process to trace back the origins of the photo or video, which account posted it first. Was it a trustworthy account? Was it a meme account? Whatever it might be, we have to go through this process, which, full disclosure, this infographic is also AI generated. In response, many are pushing bills like this one in Ohio that, if passed, would require watermarks on AI generated images, which to me should be kind of the bare minimum we should be doing. But others are actually arguing that bills like this would be a First Amendment violation, saying that warning labels like this would be quote unquote government compelled speech and therefore illegal, which I think is kind of silly, because that's like saying nutrition labels are a First Amendment violation because they are government compelled speech.
Bruh.
clearer warning to stop using ChatGPT, then this is it. There are soon going to be ads in ChatGPT, and it's going to be a disaster for humanity. OpenAI is now quietly testing advertisements inside of ChatGPT, marking the moment the least reliable experience on the internet begins its descent into the familiar cycle of shitification that has consumed every digital platform that we once trusted. Not that I ever did trust ChatGPT. The moment that AI integrates ads, everything becomes compromised. People who were already letting the machine think for them will now simply let the machine sell to them, influence them, steer them, and nudge them, and they'll confuse that manipulation with help and answers. We're building a population perfectly primed for exploitation, docile, dependent, incuriosity, and people who will swallow anything delivered to them in the confident tone of a chatbot. Because unlike Google search, which operates on mostly public queries, ChatGPT sits on a mountain of your most intimate disclosures. It knows your insecurities, your vulnerabilities, your panic spirals, your late night confessions, and just the things that you would never say out loud. But when advertisers look at this landscape of things, they don't see ethical minefields, they see the most lucrative psychological targeting opportunity ever created. And behind every promise of innovation, every paradigm shift, every corporate mission statement, every visionary keynote, there is always, inevitably, depressingly, fucking ads.
There is a lot of misinformation about what Vril is. Vril is similar to the concept of chi. Resonating with it grants you unbelievable power. At Temple of Vril, we teach you how to harness this potent force. Join us.
Truth is that billions of people are unprepared for what happens next. Because AI images and voice are now perfectly realistic, videos will be next, and then live streaming. So it's important that everybody does three things immediately. Number one, you need a verification protocol with your friends and especially family. If somebody's asking for money or sensitive information, this must be verified past voice confirmation. You need to develop some sort of passphrase or gesture only known to the both of you. Number two, educate your family today on the capabilities of these models. Number three, I hate that this has to be said, but don't blindly believe anything anymore. Even the most trained eyes can fall for this stuff online at first glance. So before reacting to something, learn how to independently verify things. I mean, critical thinking is going to be more important than ever in the next era of the internet. We're still in this era when it comes to AI. Imagine when we get to this.
I just watched this fucking video. God, I don't like y'all because y'all be fucking me up after a session. Bro, I just was watching this video where this dude in the video was like, as you get older, everything is like a deeper connection to something dark. And I'm like, damn, that's true. Like, everything's a psyop, everything's this, everything's that. Man, a motherfucker in the comments said TikTok is the Tower of Babel. I didn't even do that on purpose, but fuck it, bro. What?
Is that true? TikTok is the Tower of Babel? I have to look into that one. Is he reaching? What y'all think? Spam it up in the comments.
Is Antichrist going to be a person, or is Antichrist going to be a machine? Is Antichrist going to be a being that we create, or that comes through the things that we have created? That's the question. I think people like Peter Thiel are involved in building something which is becoming quite openly evil, I think. Becoming quite openly destructive of human flourishing, destructive of nature, destructive of our relationships, destructive in all the ways that we've talked about. I mean, the promise of Antichrist in the Christian story is that he or it is a great prophet which imitates Christ. You know, every religious believer thinks this is the new prophet who's come to unite a world which is crumbling. That's the promise that technology is giving us at the moment. That's the promise that we're being openly given by the people who are creating these great superhuman intelligences, these great beyond human minds that they're trying to build. These things are going to bring us together. These things are going to solve our problem. These things will be rational. These things will overcome our human passions and our destruction. These things will unite us. It's almost as if the technological system is coalescing. And as I say, the Silicon Valley people talk openly about this. It's coalescing towards the creation of a being, which is seen to be and is promised to be our salvation. And when they start to talk about uploading their minds into the silicon substrate, you've got effectively a kind of digital Christian heresy going on. You've got Christianity without Christ. We create heaven. We create a place in which we can live eternal lives, and we ultimately create beings which we regard as gods.
So why do you think the world's going to be over soon?
Well, as Bill Gates said, we need 3 billion less people. And they really don't give a how we get 3 billion. If we had 3 billion less people, we don't have all these crises that we have right now.
That's where I go back to just enjoy your day, because you can't do shit about it. When there's global elite that have billions and billions and billions that they can buy off governors and judges and presidents, like there's people in control of this world, and I'm not in it. And again, unless you know those people and you're one of those.
And I do.
Well, then you might be in it. But I've never been to a meeting where they're like, all right, we're going to off a third of the population so we have air in 100 years.
They don't talk like that. They everything's theoretical, and they put up their PowerPoint presentation and some little skinny, or 2 or 3 little skinny from Stanford, Caltech, and MIT, and Oxford. This is what could happen if this happened and this happened. And somebody in the back of the room will raise their hand, and what are the probabilities of all these things happening at once? Not self-induced. In other words, not caused. They say 0%. And what it's helped along a little. They put it nicer than that. Oh, we can make it happen 1 out of 3 times. Everybody kind of chuckles, but I'd rather be part of that group. That's why I call everybody a meathead.
What is 764?
15-year-old boy started the group. He was the beginning of it. He created something that is the worst thing next to all the other things that we've talked about. 764 group is a Satanist cult group that focuses on extreme violence. One of the main things that they focus on is extortion towards children. The main reason why they do a lot of the things that I'm about to show you is to get the recognition for it. They just want their group out there in any way, whether it's negative or positive. They extort out of material. They extort children into cutting their, hurting themselves, cut areas of their, engraving their names into their legs, their arms, their faces. They've had children commit live on camera in front of audiences of people while they get cheered on. Convince children to animals, their pet cats, their pet dogs. They try to convince them to their family members, commit massive bestiality, in you name it. A lot of it has already been done. This is probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. 15-year-old boy started this group in Texas.
A 15-year-old boy?
15-year-old boy started the group. He was the beginning of it. And he, from what I read, was a nonverbal kid that had some, issues that, I don't want to glorify this kid or talk about him in any way where anyone would feel bad for him. It was all started from this kid, and there's something called, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it's called the COM. And the COM is a collection of mostly teenagers, but there's adults in there as well that congregate on the internet. The COM is short for the community. And they congregate on the internet, and they dox, meaning like release personal information on people. They SWAT, meaning they send SWAT teams to people's houses just to, scare them and to get recordings of them being swatted so they can use it to brag. Like for example, they'll call in to a local department and say, hey, my name is John Doe. I have bombs strapped to the windows. I have my family strapped to the chairs. I'm going to them all if any police enter the door. They're going to say all these horrible things so that a SWAT team, responds. And that's what swatting is. I've personally been swatted 3 times, 2 of which police actually showed up, and it was a big deal. I had a video of one of them, but I never gave them the recognition that it happened. There was no proof that it happened other than my recordings of it that I saved on my phone. I didn't want to give them the credit, So that's the COM. The 764 group actually came from the COM, and that doesn't mean all of the people in the COM have their own problems. They do their own stupid stuff. They've been torturing me since I was on your show 3 years ago.
As you can see, all of that stuff has not gone away. It's still here. What do y'all think about everything he just said, y'all? Crazy.
Okay, people have just found out why we actually get nightmares. When you're dreaming about falling, being chased, dying, or anything else horrible that happens in a nightmare, there is actually a very, very smart part of your brain that is working here, and it's definitely not what you think it is. Think of it like your brain is running a survival simulation. You're basically playing a video game. Well, I don't really want to in the middle of the night. It's testing your reaction to fear, danger, and stress all while you sleep to basically level up your body in a way. I think mine's like Prestige 3. And it does this testing various situations with you so that you're better prepared when you're awake.
Now I know, this sounds insane. You're like, no, that's just absolute bullshit. Like, why would they do that? But no, it is true. It is your primal survival instincts kicking in. Like, our brain has evolved over thousands of years, but we're still the same as these Donnies. I mean, it's literally an ancient defense mechanism. Your brain rehearsing the worst case scenarios ever, so if anything happens, you're more prepared for it. And as I say, this would have happened back in these days where these Donnies would have been dreaming about tigers chasing them or something coming and eating them, so that when that did genuinely happen, they were actually prepared for it and could survive.
Something really strange is happening in Chernobyl right now, but nobody can explain it. Back in 1986, the Chernobyl nuclear plant exploded, releasing more radiation than 400 Hiroshima bombs and forcing over 300,000 people to flee. The ground is still so toxic that humans can only stay there for a few minutes at a time. But recently, when scientists were exploring the remains, they noticed something strange on the reactor walls. A black, soot-like fungus slowly spreading towards the most radioactive spots. At first, they thought it was a miracle that anything could survive that level of radiation. But the wildest part was that when they tested this fungus, it wasn't just surviving the radiation, it was feeding on it. So scientists are now seriously considering using this fungus to line spacecraft walls to protect astronauts from cosmic radiation.
So everything from this point on is allegedly. It's just my opinion, rumors and speculation of social media. So a powerful cosmic ray hits planet Earth and scientists can't discover where it came from. What it basically is a streaming of consciousness that is streaming down from the mental plane, which is also known as the magnetosphere. And it's not a coincidence in the movie X-Men, the character's name was Magneto. So when you see the term mag, it is an abbreviation for the word magnetism. Magnetism is equated to your magic is your magnetism, which is basically your spiritual gifts. Because God is the mind, not the body. Although the body is a temple of the Most High and it houses the Holy Spirit, God is the mind by way of mind science technology. There's a diametrical difference between the brain and the mind. They're two different entities. So the mind in itself is the electrical force field that surrounds the brain and has the ability to bring in the Christ consciousness. And the brain in itself is the physical construct that keeps you connected to the holographic matrix, keeps you stuck in a simulation when you're talking about the holonomic brain theory. So the Christ consciousness is activated by way of mind science technology, by these cosmic rays that's streaming down from the magnetosphere, the mental plane. And a lot of people like the NPCs are going to get left behind because they have a third dimensional stronghold. So as you have this ultra high energy cosmic ray that is hitting the planet, what it's doing is it's upgrading people's DNA and energy, right? It's here to upgrade DNA. So you have the indigenous DNA, the NPC DNA, and you have the Canaanite DNA. Now, when you're talking about the NPCs, they allegedly have an artificial consciousness. They are connected to the artificial electrical grid. Meanwhile, the chosen ones are connected to the conscious energy grid, the magnetosphere, the mental plane, the Most High. That is the diametrical difference between the two.
The more I learn about this consciousness, mind stuff, the more I discover myself. The hero's journey, y'all. What a trip.
What's up, bro? You trying to step to the mic? Let's go. Thanks for stepping to the mic. My name is Michael Minelli, and I'm looking for a feature, so I need your best right now. I'm gonna start it, then you go, okay?
I love it when you say my name with those gentle eyes, mix it with that perfect smile. Girl, you know it gets me every time. I love it when you hold my hand. Help me understand when you let your soul hit right. This is what love's supposed to feel like, yeah.
Some days I need a hug. Sometimes I play Tupac and act like I'm a thug. You wanna know what I won't do for love? Write a song about you and give you all the pub. Cause I need that, I'm still independent. Throwing shows in your city, tell me you attending. I ain't beg for forgiveness, but you know me better than I know me, and I hate commitments with a whole lot of other things. Last night I dropped a project, it's called Circa, man. Hey, I'm freestyling, shout out Mike one time.
Hey, come on, man, he look like Coolio and got the Big Sean flow.
So here I am trying to cook in China. Water is out, so I'm going outside to fix that. So here we have this water card, and all I have to do is go outside here. There's this water station door here, and this is my apartment number 1401. This is my water meter. This is the card that they give you. You take it to the water station, you load the money on it. I put 100 kwai on this, and then all I have to do is to tap. Sorry, not tap. Put it here, and then watch it load my water. It says open, so it's loading back my water for me. Once it's finished, all I have to do is to go back in, and my water should be back. Excuse that, but my water is back. Yay! Water Commission, do that and meet them.
This is how it's like in China. Aren't they running the social credit score system out there? And this is the byproduct of that? So much for the quantum financial system.
In '93, it was called Project Starlight. It was a code word name that Spook, an intel guy, made up for us prior to briefing the director of the CIA. And it's now become the Global Disclosure Project. But the problem with it is that the subject is actually very, very complex.
Yeah.
And to unpack it, which I hope we can do in the next couple hours, it takes a little bit of patience. But what I've tried to do is put the information out that provides the evidence to back up the assessments, right? So an intelligence assessment, as you know, is more difficult than just gathering data. So my primary job has been, all the way back to when I was a young doctor, briefing the CIA director, is not only to put the evidence together, but try to create some sound out of that noise, all that information. What does it mean? Why are they here? How is this being managed? What's the architecture of this extreme deep state, deep national security state? And what is the agenda of that? I mean, these are the big issues. The data and the evidence is now on the internet for anyone on your show to see. It's for free.
Did you know you have fingers inside your eyes? Right on this part over here. With good lighting and a lot of zoom, you can get really close and see what look like fingers coming out of your iris. This is known as the pupillary border.
Is it true that if we have less friends, if we have less strong relationships, if we're lonely, then our brain will shrink?
Yes, we are social creatures, and there are really powerful studies that have shown the correlation between the number of social connections that we have, including just saying hello to the barista at Starbucks. It's not a close friendship that you develop over 30 years. It's just how many people you interact with and greet, and longevity. The more people you are regularly interacting with, the longer you are living. Overall longevity. But if you go into brain health, absolutely, it's also very, very healthy for you. It also brings happiness.
Listen up. We've been telling y'all for years, and it's coming. Some New Yorkers are getting $12,000 in crypto in a Coinbase-funded basic income style pilot program. Everyone needs to get their heads out of the sand. Since 2021, we've been saying this was coming. This has Agenda 2030 all over it. America's second largest county approves $500 monthly to residents in 2026. City of Boulder releases evaluation report for guaranteed income pilot project. 20 Howard County families will receive guaranteed basic income for 1 year with no strings attached. Lawmakers float a nationwide basic income experiment that would cover the cost of a 2-bedroom apartment. Not only that, but we're seeing the digital IDs take root in U.S. as states and federal agencies chart uncertain paths. Not only that, but Trump just came out with the Genesis mission, which will combine everything from AI to satellites. We have been talking about this patent forever. 060606, a cryptocurrency system using body activity data. You will wear a device that senses your body activity, and if you do what they tell you to do, you get paid in cryptocurrency. Trump is literally making the system right now. They're piloting basic income programs that are with cryptocurrency. This will all be connected with what? Your digital ID. They will be able to monitor everything you do in this system. They knew that Biden nor Harris would be able to implement this system, but they did know that Trump would be able to. So that is exactly what Trump is doing, because he's no different than anybody else. Take a look around. He's literally having dinners with Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos. He is not taking down the deep state. He is a part of it. And y'all are going to line up like sheep in the slaughterhouse if y'all don't wake up.
There's your quantum financial system. That's what you wanted, Q, right? Right, MAGA?
Reported earlier, 2 men have been arrested in connection with 764, an online malicious network built on abuse and psychological terror. Leonidas Baragianis, aka War, was arrested in Greece. Prasanth Nepal, aka Trippy, was caught in North Carolina. Both are U.S. citizens. They're accused of running 764 Inferno, the core of the group. Court documents say they didn't just want to harm, they wanted to destroy civilized society. If convicted, both could face life in prison. This takedown is part of the DOJ's Project Safe Childhood. By December 2024, the FBI had already arrested a 20-year-old man named Baron Martin in Tucson, Arizona, for his malicious activities related to 764. So who founded 764? It was Bradley Cadenhead, known online as Felix, who was just 15 when he started the group in 2021. Ironically, he named it after the zip code of his hometown, Stephenville, Texas. Here's the good news. In March 2023, at just 17, Cadenhead pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 80 years in state prison. What made the 764 group so dangerous was how it operated. Authorities say the people behind it manipulated young users into extreme actions, some involving physical rituals and secret challenges. They collected disturbing content called lore books, which were used to gain status in the group. The FBI called it one of the most disturbing online operations ever uncovered. Think about how serious this was, that even the U.S. Attorney General called it a network built on terror and trauma. Please keep an eye on what your kids do online. Don't let them use social media that's not age appropriate or encrypted chat apps like Telegram. Talk to them. Make sure they feel comfortable sharing what's happening online.
Did you guys hear about the underwater volcano?
No.
This is terrifying. It's off the west coast of America. This volcano is 1 mile wide, and it is due to explode any day now.
Really?
They said it's definitely going to blow. And they said when it blows, it could cause 10,000 earthquakes.
Is this 100% legit?
Yes. But everyone's like, don't worry about it. Like, it's underwater. It's so far underwater. Like, but it's like 10,000 earthquakes in a day.
I don't know a lot about earthquakes, but that seems like a lot.
And it's a mile-long volcano?
That's crazy, man.
Like, don't worry.
How far off the California coast is it?
I don't know.
I completely track with that. Is it Yellowstone?
Yeah, Yellowstone, the super volcano.
And you go there and they're like, yeah, one day might blow up. But anyway, gift shops on the way out. And you're like, how do you live with this? No, it's probably not going to happen.
They're literally observing. It's like bubbling up. Like it's going to boom.
And they said in the summertime?
They think early June.
Soon, though.
Yeah.
Gosh, man, that's crazy. Do you see that surveillance video of literal fault line shifting?
Yeah.
And I'm like, imagine if that happened in Yellowstone, where it's just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Things are gone.
Throws away an egg on a nuclear submarine, it can reveal the submarine's location to enemy forces. You see, submarines carry hundreds of eggs to feed crew members during patrols. When the eggs spoil, they get tossed in the trash and sent to the compactor because space is extremely limited. But here's the problem. When an uncracked egg goes through the trash compactor, the extreme pressure causes it to suddenly implode. That implosion creates a sharp pop, loud enough to be picked up on sonar. Just one egg might be fine, but a series of egg implosions creates a noise signature that stands out from normal ocean sounds. That's why crews are trained to crack every egg before throwing them away.
I think they're waiting for AI. That's what I think.
Really?
I think that's the whole reason why they haven't contacted us. The whole reason why there's no like very obvious signal to the entire population of Earth that this is a real phenomenon. I think they're waiting for AI because I don't think we're gonna get less violent. I think that fucking ship has sailed. There's slap fights now on TV.
When a celeb gets too honest online, notice how they disappear for a week. That's the silent rule kicking in.
A simple security flaw exposed the phone number of nearly every WhatsApp user on Earth. That's 3.5 billion people, including you. As reported by Wired, researchers from the University of Vienna found they could just ask WhatsApp if a number existed, and WhatsApp would answer. There were no limits. They scraped 100 million numbers an hour. In just 30 minutes, they grabbed 30 million US phone numbers. And they didn't just get numbers. They scraped 2 billion profile photos and 1 billion user bios. This means anyone could have built a massive searchable database linking your face to your private phone number. Meta was warned about this exact flaw in 2017. They ignored it for 8 years.
Sorry.
United States is one of the most diverse countries in the world, stretching across 6 time zones and containing almost every type of climate and landscape. It has the world's largest economy and is home to more than 350 languages reflecting its cultural variety. The U.S. also created many major inventions, including airplanes and the internet, with over 60 national parks, huge cities, and vast open wilderness. The country is a mix of nature, technology, and history, all in one.
Did you see that poor kitty? Poor little fella.
In 12 months, there will be 10 million robots in people's houses across the US controlled by random people around the globe for $10 an hour. At first glance, this looks absolutely insane. A humanoid robot that can now do all of our chores, like laundry and the dishes, etc. This is the brand new Neo robot that was just announced for pre-order at a $20,000 price point. But the thing is, this robot won't be controlled by AI. It'll be controlled by someone in another country. You see, right now there's a massive race between many robotics companies to get a humanoid robot in people's houses. But AI isn't quite good enough at controlling the humanoid robots yet. So instead, these companies will have people control these robots remotely using VR. In fact, most of the demos by big tech companies showing off humanoid robots has someone controlling them remotely with a VR headset. I'm usually very positive about tech and AI. However, I do agree a lot with what Marquise Brownlee said in his latest video. I think it will take a lot of time before these robots can do most chores around the house, because in order for them to be useful, they need to first learn. And to learn, they need to be in people's homes. The reason there is such a race to get these robots in people's houses is because the race is about training data. Just as Tesla leads in self-driving because they have the most cars on the road, the winner of the robot race will be the company that has robots in the most houses. But in the video, Brownlee asks the question, are there really that many people who want to spend that amount of money and give up some serious privacy having someone control a robot inside their house? Well, in my opinion, the answer to that question is 100% yes. In fact, I think millions of wealthy families will be more comfortable with a remotely controlled humanoid robot than an in-person house.
What's up, you trying to step to the mic?
Yes, I am.
With energy like that, let's go, baby. Thanks for stepping to the mic. My name is Michael Minelli, and I'm looking for a feature, so I need your best right now. I'm gonna start it, then you go, okay?
I know you're scared, but don't you push me away. I do my best to brighten all your darkest days. I never let you feel alone, I'll be your shelter. Baby, I'm right here to help you and live you out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
I'm amazed by you, yeah. I know it's love. I can't lose you now. This love is something I have never had. It lifts me when I'm sad. My love is in your hand, and I don't know what I would do if I ever left. I hope you understand. I love you and it scares me to death.
The most dangerous corporation in America is one you may not have heard of. It's called Palantir Technologies, a Silicon Valley tech company that may put your most basic freedoms at risk. Palantir gets its name from a device used in The Lord of the Rings. If this weren't such a serious subject, I'd spend the whole video making funny Lord of the Rings references. I won't do that, because there's nothing funny about the real dangers of Palantir. Think about this. What do AI, the U.S. military, domestic surveillance, and the tech oligarchy all have in common? Palantir, co-founded by billionaire Peter Thiel and its current CEO Alex Karp.
We buy a lot of things from Palantir.
In J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, a Palantir is a seeing stone, something like a crystal ball, that can be used to spy on people and distort the truth. During the War of the Ring, a Palantir falls under the control of the evil Sauron, who uses it to manipulate and deceive. Palantir Technologies bears a striking similarity. It sells AI-based data platforms that let their clients, including governments, militaries, and law enforcement agencies, quickly process and analyze massive amounts of your personal data. Whether it's social media profiles, bank account records, tax history, medical history, or driving records, the tools that Palantir sells are used to help clients identify and monitor individuals like you. Why should this matter to you? Billions of your tax dollars are going to Palantir, and what Palantir is working on could be used against you. Early in his current term, Trump signed an executive order requiring government agencies to consolidate all of their information about you into one giant database, something that has never been done before. To help process this massive amount of information, Trump chose Palantir. Trump claims This is about efficiency. But as one Silicon Valley investor described it, Palantir is, quote, building the infrastructure of the police state. Data privacy experts warn that when government data is pooled together, it can be used by a tyrant to intimidate or silence opposition. The possibilities for abuse are huge. Palantir co-founder and Trump ally Peter Thiel has made no secret of his disdain for democracy, writing, quote, I no longer believe that freedom and democracy are compatible. But when he speaks of freedom, he isn't thinking about you. To him, freedom means that he and his fellow tech oligarchs get to do what they want without consequences, while the rest of us live in an authoritarian police state. And if Thiel's anti-democratic sentiments weren't terrifying enough, it also appears he isn't sure if humans are all that great either.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
Yes?
I don't know. I would,
This is a long hesitation.
The danger of Palantir's AI-powered super database on all Americans is amplified by the vast wealth and power of those associated with it and their apparent disdain for democratic institutions. To protect democracy and our individual freedoms, we need to elect leaders who will defend the public from corporations like Palantir, not partner with them. Tolkien's Palantir fell under the control of Sauron. Thiel's Palantir is falling under the control of Trump. How this story ends is up to all of us. Please, help spread the word.
Want you to know what they're doing to you, right? What do we need humans for? What do we need so many humans for?
Do you have an answer in the book?
At present, the best guess we have is keep them happy with drugs and computer games. Most people will be willing to give up their privacy in exchange for much better healthcare based on 24 hours monitoring of what's happening inside their bodies. Humans are now hackable animals. The whole idea that humans have soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me, that this is my free will, that's over. The real aim of science as a project, as an establishment, is not truth, it's power. The idea of the social credit is to monetize everything, to give value to every single thing you do in life. It's a function of surveillance. It has positive potential in some regards. It could create the most totalitarian systems in history.
You would think that they would know what other people are saying and they would clean up their image a little bit, but they don't seem to care. They know that we're talking.
The fact that they talk so freely out in the open now. No hiding anything, man. They're not holding back shit.
New eye implant that's giving people back their sight, and it could save your eyesight when you get older. The patients in this trial all had cells at the back of their eye that gradually died because of an age-related disease, causing their vision to look something like this. But doctors implanted this tiny microchip behind their retina. It's only about as thick as a human hair, and it connects to a special pair of glasses with a camera on the front that takes in images and then sends it to the implant and then to a handheld processor that turns what the camera is seeing into a digital image that then gets sent back to the implant and then to the brain, giving people back their sight. Huge if true. If you think there should be more optimistic science and tech stories, follow along.
In case the world made you forget, using a phone until it's actually broken and wrecked is normal. Driving a car, the same car, for over a decade is normal. Packing a lunch to work every single day for your 9 to 5 is normal. Reusing gift bags for the holiday season is normal. Wearing clothes, the same hoodie, for many, many years is normal. Saying no to plans you can't afford is normal.
Always here to de-influence you. Bye.
It was just before 3 a.m. Lou was sitting in her living room, quietly reading a book, while her Labrador Peanut walked around the room. Everything looked completely normal on the home security camera, until something strange happened. Lou suddenly reacts as though something warm had breathed directly into her ear. But it's what happens next that sent the clip viral. See if you can spot it. As Lou stands and moves away, a small bottle on the table beneath the TV suddenly tips over on its own.
You're speaking out and warning about a national air conditioning crisis that's budding in this country.
There was a big thing called the Kigali Agreement.
Yeah.
It was happening around the world. Everybody, for global warming and such, let's do something better. So they came up with a new refrigerant. The problem is this refrigerant is now more flammable than the old refrigerant, okay? And it also has something called PFAs, which are forever chemicals, which you cannot get rid of, okay? It's then $75 to replace a canister is now $750 to $1,200. That's a 1,000 to 1,500% increase, okay? People don't realize it's an issue. I was sitting in a high-end restaurant in WeHo.
Yeah.
It was hot. I go, what's up? He go, turn the air conditioning on. He goes, it's really expensive. This is a problem. It's going to outlaw all the parts. People are going to have to reconfigure all their air conditioning.
And it's happening soon.
It was supposed to be 15 years for the world to transfer. Guess what? We have 15 months in America. It started January 1st. We have 4 months left.
We're going to talk to Lee Zeldin about that.
We got to talk about the next level of this robot situation, because it's not just the house-made robots that we're going to be dealing with. We're going to be dealing with humanoid robots that are going to be specifically designed to be dangerous, okay? World's most powerful humanoid robot aces Superman landing with flair, and boy, does it. So let's take a look at this. I mean, this thing jumps and lands like how I wish I could in my dreams, and it's done perfectly. And I'm just, as somebody who grew up in the 90s fantasizing about sci-fi world in the future, I'm just stunned that we're here now, and I'm waiting for the Jetsons to show up. You can actually see how this thing just flips in the air backwards and lands with like a movie ending pose. And it's like, wow, that's wild. But now think about this robot being on the offensive, being trained, being programmed, the AI itself, self-learning to be dangerous. They'll obviously introduce it through law enforcement. And this here, China unveils the T-800, a full-size humanoid robot built for combat. Built for combat. And listen, like we talked about how China treats the Uyghur Muslims last week and how it's literally just a terrible situation. It's not like they have the best code of ethics, right? When they have this at their disposal, I could just hope that it only lasts like typical quality coming out of China lasts. Because, like, you know, my kids' toys are built to last all of 15 minutes and they fall apart, and I'm like, well, that was worth the $50. Great. So I'm hoping that these AI robots coming out of China that are built for combat, I'm really hoping that they fall apart fairly quickly. But this is where we're at.
I totally agree with what he just said. Let's hope pretty fast. What do y'all think?
Program with the V for Vril. Vril means they are lizards. We see the Vril Society, the Nazis were part of the Vril Society. Forget that Nazis, they don't actually exist, they're just all Vril. They're no different than the American government now, every other government now. They are reptilian demons, they're not human, they don't have a soul like we do. It's one of the reasons they hate us. They are the descendants of Cain, as in Cain and Abel. We are the descendants of Seth. Cain turned out reptilian, and he is cold-blooded. That's why they're called blue bloods. Here's Obama. Obama they use the DNA of King Tut. This is Carly Kloss, so she's got one eye closed like Eye of Horus, but she also has the V by the eye because she's real chipped in the eye. Jeff Bezos, again, showing you his real chipping didn't go too well. Bill Cosby, too. This is that 80s show about reptilians who posed as human, and while pretending they were human, tried to take over and ate humans. And there's Samuel L. Jackson, also Vril, showing you very clearly by putting the V by his eye. Here's how the droning process works.
These lizards have a unique biological property of their bodies. The lizards have what's called a proboscis. It's an ejectable brain and spinal column. The small ones they use to drone people because the proboscis on young lizard type 1s, they're small enough to go into an eye and not ruin the eye because they're supposed to do this to animals with bigger eyeballs, probably freaking dinosaurs. They parasite a human's brain. This top cap thing on the top of their head comes out. They can do this once in their life. It pulls their spinal column along with it. The human would have to be restrained or unconscious. The thing squiggles in through the eye. It does a spiral around the optic nerve all the way to a certain point, and it's driven there by taste. And they said once it gets there, it has the taste of butterscotch. It then starts what they call sweating the quill. The spinal cord stuff comes out of the spinal cord, and it's everything that the lizard is. The lizard's whole body is dead, and it can't go back in. It's one way. The juice that's in the spinal cord gets excreted out of the tip of this thing. They're parasitic cells. The parasitic cells go into the brain. The old person's consciousness is gone. The body is absolutely, totally dominated, and the lizard is smarter as a human. Over time, it'll develop a rash, it'll lose its hair.
I am open, I am free, and my life is breathing me as I surrender to the will of the divine. No more stories of the past, I am shedding skins at last, and I realize I'm already in heaven. The moment I stop running from the demons in my head, and instead I choose to love them. When saying yes to life, both shadow and light, my suffering is done and I come alive. I am born and I will die, by each breath a final sigh. It doesn't matter where I go, I cannot hide. But when I find my sense of peace, I can walk through hell with ease. I might fall 1,000 times, but I shall rise. And the moment I stop running from the demons in my head, and instead I choose to love them. When saying yes to life, both shadow and light, my suffering is done and I come alive. I want to feel it all. I wear my heart on my sleeve, saying, here I am, can you see me? Oh, I am beautiful and fucked up in the most glorious way. When standing in my truth, who cares what people say? 'Cause the moment we stop running from the demons in our heads, and instead we choose to love them. When saying yes to life, both shadow and light, oh, our suffering is done and we come alive. Oh, the moment we stop running from the demons in our heads, and instead we choose to love them. When saying yes to life, oh, shadow and light, oh, our suffering is done and we come alive. Oh, the moment we stop running from the demons in our heads, and instead we choose to love them. Oh, and saying yes to life, both shadow and light, our suffering is done and we come alive.
Now that you know V stands for vril, you will be able to separate fact from fiction. Almost everything that you see.
Now you know what this means. Well, that's another hour banger we just finished watching. Thanks for tagging along with your boy Quantum Cake. If you like this episode, make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to smash that subscribe button and press on the notification bell to stay up to date for the next react. Comment, like, and share. Have an amazing, prosperous, productive, super safe day. And I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.
Killer.